Ben says he texts with his sweetie for about 2 to 3 hours a night, so it's like, "Hey, bud, let's take about 20% off her over there, eh?"
Friend only brought $20 to play buck hunter at the bar with. That is just a pedestrian effort.
You dared your little cousin to shotgun a can of gravy, which was funny, but no one was laughing when he lost control of his bodily functions at the kids' table.
You're not sure how it came to this, but you just don't feel right operating a chainsaw without a beer and a smoke.
Your aunt always had a suspicious love for snacking, but it wasn't until your 18th birthday she told you she smokes the Johnny Red Eye.
Hello gamers, and welcome to the first and only episode of Dining on Savage. Today we're going to be making a recipe for Canadian grilled cheese, which I was told by a member of my Final Fantasy XIV guild was a real regional delicacy and totally a real thing. So with an open mind, I decided to take one for the team and try it out in the name of science. Alright, let's get started. Our ingredients list is pretty simple. Like normal grilled cheese, or at least grilled cheese here in the States, we're going to use white bread, American or processed cheese, and creamy peanut butter. Yes, you heard that right. To start off, I'm going to use one of my own personal life hacks and spread some soft butter onto a ready plate, which I'll then use to swirl the bread on top of and get a nice even coating on the back of the bread. A technique that totally won't come back to bite me in the ass later. After our bread is nice and buttered, we're going to add a single slice of American cheese because I'm still not convinced this won't turn into an instant trash can ballast. After that, I added a healthy dose of peanut butter to the top to attempt to mitigate some of the potential disharmony of flavors going on here. And with that, we drop the top and move on to grilling our grilled cheese. I figured we're already in absurd territory, so hey, why not make it in the most absurd way possible? So today we're going to be flash grilling it using my $400 Japanese toaster. Now if you don't have a $400 toaster, that's perfectly fine. You can make it the regular way, your $200 Le Creuset cast iron pan. I'm of course joking. Any non-stick pan will do just fine here, but cast iron would be the optimal way to go if you have one. Remember, toasting works best low and slow so you can build up a nice even crust. Alright, so let's load our sandwich into the toast Roomba, dial in our settings to what we think should work, and hope for the best. Spoiler alert, the top got a little singed, but not badly enough to really impact the final flavor. I also only have 5 slices of bread left, so this was all or nothing if I wanted to get this shot done in one go. After the beep, let's pop the hood, and yeah, we got a bit of scorching. But that's okay, nothing was lost except my credibility. Moving on, I actually lost the clip of me taking the first bite here. My initial impressions are pretty meh. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Flavor-wise, the peanut butter and the cheese actually somehow managed to reach a weird equilibrium and just kind of cancel each other out. So, results still inconclusive. Okay, now let's start over and make what I think is the actual spiritual origin of this sandwich. We're going down to Quebec and swapping out the American cheese for brie and the peanut butter for jam, and tossing in a few sliced apples for acidity and texture. This is bending the rules a little bit, but we're looking to elevate here, not imitate. We'll start by slicing the apples, making sure to edit the footage to skip past the demonstration of our flawless knife handling. I might also recommend sauteing the apple slices in butter and cinnamon a bit if you want to cut down on the tartness, but for this sandwich we want to keep that crunch in, so we're leaving as is. After you have a few slices of apple, go ahead and knock off a couple decent hunks of that delicious triple cream brie. Side note, this stuff basically turns into cheese glue at room temperature, so maybe don't use a wooden prep surface like I did here for this. Again, we'll prep a plate with some soft butter and swirl our bread slices around to get some nice even coverage. I used about a half tablespoon here, but based on my results, you'll probably want to use a bit more. After that, we'll lay down the brie on the bottom and do our best to spread it out a bit to get as much surface area as possible to assist with melting. Follow this up with a nice stack of apple slices. In this case, I was using Honeycrisp, but feel free to use what you like. I actually still haven't managed to get my hands on some Cosmic Crisps, but I imagine they would be fantastic for this as well, based on the description I've heard from friends. Remember, the key here is having balanced but pronounced flavors, so we don't want to overdo it. Next, we'll finish off assembly with a healthy amount of mixed berry preserves, and once we have a nice even spread, we'll drop the top and pull the God King toaster back out of storage for another go. Ignoring the crumbs from the last round, insert the cassette, close the hood, and press play and pray that you got the settings right this time. And somehow we managed to burn it again.
You were the chosen one!
Well, nothing a quick couch cushion flip can't fix. Give it a nice good diagonal slice because we're not a psychopath, and let's take a look at that beautiful in-focus cross-section. Damn, that absolutely slaps. Okay, maybe I'm overselling it a bit, but after the Senate committee hearing my taste buds just walked out of, this was really good. You can see how drippy the brie is here. It does that magic thing only brie can do, and it partially emulsifies with the jam, which makes this sweet and salty mortar around the apple slices, which bring out a nice, sharp, and bright freshness. If you want some next level grilled cheese, this is the one I would go with. No cap. So, what did we learn here? Well, our results were actually a bit inconclusive. The source I got this from didn't really mention any other prep or ingredients that might have made the base experience better, so maybe there is a different combination of bread and cheese that makes this a little more palatable. But as is, this was a swing and a miss for me. One of the things I always say when I talk about talking about food with other people is don't say bad when you mean different, and don't say interesting when you mean bad. This combination was definitely different, and tastes are a very personal thing. So while I didn't find it overly exciting, there's obviously going to be people out there that do like this sort of thing. And who knows, maybe after watching this video, you might find that you're one of those people. Overall, this certainly was a culinary adventure, and one I was happy to take. And if you want to see more content like this on the channel, hey, leave a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, maybe hit that subscribe button as well. And if you're really a culinary adventurer like me, then you're going to love today's sponsor, Rage